What seemed like a standard visit between an inmate and his girlfriend is a cover for something else. In the bag, balloons filled with drugs. Balloons this inmate is eating.
You could not see one balloon. He sandwiched them between two Doritos and acted like he was just eating those Doritos. He was pretty slick, really. It was just a hunch that that's what was going on. I sent an officer over to check the bag, and there was balloons in the bag. Normally, when you see balloons, you got to assume that there's more than what you found.
For her part, the girlfriend is detained and faces potential drug charges. The inmate, Justin Davis, is under an arrest of sorts as well, held in a special wing of the prison. Since Davis swallowed most of the evidence, the prison is now waiting for it to come out. It's called Defecation Watch.
What's good, man? It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast, where I talk about prison, pre, post, and present, how everything that I experienced throughout my incarceration has forever changed my life. This is the Incarceration.
All right, good afternoon. This is State of Florida versus Stephen Testo with multiple cases before the court.
Forever Convict family, listen, we are on a journey to 50,000 subs. We are over halfway there. So if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Share this channel with anybody who enjoys prison content. And if you don't know my story, I've done over 12 years in prison. And all throughout my incarceration on this channel, I share the crazy, funny, goofy, weird prison stories, as well as interviewing other convicts and sharing their stories as well. But most importantly, we highlight the redemptive stories of convicts coming home, leaving their past lifestyle of crime, and now living successfully in society.
What's good, man? It's your boy E.I. the King, and today we're doing another inside prison look reaction video. And one thing I've been learning as I've been doing these is the intros always are super long, and it's like normally just trying to give people more of a like inside look of like behind the scenes. So I'm skipping all that. I'm getting straight to the good stuff, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now on the Incarceration Podcast. Let's check it out, fam.
Constant watch.
These guys are dangerous, and it's our job to keep a thumb on them, keep some control of them, know what they're doing, try to predict what they're going to do next.
These guys are always looking for an edge, that weak link. It's a cat and a mouse game, because it's my job to follow the rules, and a lot of inmates will tell you it's their job to break them.
At Ross, the challenges come daily, and problems can flare up at any moment. Then, it's time to respond. This afternoon, emergency workers have been called to Unit 4A on the heels of a vicious fight. Weapons were involved, and the assailant is already in custody.
Hold it on there. Make sure you're excuse me.
It's not the first time this inmate has been involved in an attack, and given his history, it probably won't be his last.
The path of the lone wolf is a hard one to walk, right? Believe me, I've been walking that one most of my life.
Nathaniel Blacker has always chosen to live by his own rules and lead a life of crime that makes him a regular in prison.
I've always been the bad influence. I'm the one that your parents have always warned you about. My parents didn't want to have anything to do with me. I turned 18, they were like, yeah, well, don't come around here, right, type of deal. So I really never had no kind of chance there. I was stuck out on my own. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? I have to eat, survive.
He's a piece of work. He's very unpredictable. He's volatile. He could go for months without having any problems and then go completely nutball in 2 minutes.
Blacker's in on a 7-year sentence for aggravated robbery. In 2004, armed with a butcher's knife, he robbed a care.
Hey, I obviously don't know this guy, but I'm kind of laughing as I watch this because, like, yo, whenever the editor edits a video, you can completely, like, that zoom shot of his crazy eyes like that, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy's got a rap sheet. He may be, like, kind of crazy, who knows? But, you know, just don't fail to realize the power of the editor and the director, how they can kind of, like, narrate things. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to give it equal perspective, a fair fight for this guy, you know what I mean?
Carry-out store in broad daylight.
Don't get me wrong, he definitely does look like a crash out though, for sure.
Blacker threatened the clerk and fled the scene with a bag full of cash. He broke the rules of society, and behind bars, little has changed.
What's this all over, man?
Tell me.
I don't know, I'm asking you.
I mean, you tell me, I'm asking you. I mean, I don't know either.
Exactly what you're doing. You want me to treat you like a man, I treat you like a man. You want to act like a convict, and I'll treat you like a convict. You understand that?
Well, there it is then.
All right, there it is.
The only thing I've learned how to do in here is become a heartless piece of for real. You know what I mean? I stand out from the crowd. I mean, you're not your typical prisoner. I'm me. I'm a one-man army, a one-man wrecking crew.
Blacker may live by his own set of rules, but now he has to face the consequences for his actions. There were more than 1,200 inmate assaults last year in the prisons of Ohio. Those are the incidents.
All right, my bad to the editor and the producer. Obviously, they heard the story and then they edited it and made it even that much more crazy with the sound and the zoom shots. So yeah, he was acknowledging that he was definitely off his rocker. So my bad. But I just want to give you an inside look, man. Like editors and directors, like, man, there's power behind editing. I know this as a content creator. Just giving you an inside look.
That get reported. Many inmate fights take place out of sight, in back rooms, or behind the cell door.
What happens is they go in there, they fight, get it over with, come out like nothing happened. You know what I mean? If somebody gets beat up really bad, then he'll get cleaned up first. Then he'll come out, he'll go to his cell, and he'll lay low until he heal up. That's just how it works.
When it comes to attacks on officers, though, inmates have nowhere to hide. There were over 900 incidents against staff in Ohio prisons last year. And while most of them were minor, every assault is handled swiftly. Something Buster Johnson has come to understand. He's entering his 5th day in segregation.
I wanted to stop right there because I didn't mention it earlier. The first guy, the white guy with his last name Blackard or something like that, he was obviously in confinement after his altercation. So when you see him pacing in that cage, that was the rec yard for, you know, seg for confinement. This guy right now, you could just tell by his cell being completely bare, he's in confinement as well, just like they said. And if you ain't never been, bro, obviously it's worst nightmare. You don't want to go, bro. Obviously it sucks being in prison, away from family and society. But being in prison, inside prison, is absolutely terrible, bro. You will lose your mind in the shoe, bro, and say for months or however many years. Sucks, dog.
You unashamed about all that time you did? Go ahead and grab your Forever Convict tee, where we're unashamed to share how our incarceration is what God chose to use to radically transform our life. And even though society may deem us as convicts, I'm not ashamed of what God used throughout that season of incarceration to make me to be the man who I am today. Forever Convict.
An officer and knocking him out.
This incident just happened so quick, man. What's supposed to happen? You know what I'm saying? It was just a spare moment thing. My mind just flipped.
Buster Johnson has had sudden bursts of violence in the past. He shot a man in 1992 and served 5 years. While out on parole, Johnson stormed into a crowded bar after his cousin had an altercation with another man. He pumped 3 .22 caliber rounds into the body of the victim, was arrested, and sentenced to 28 years for attempted murder. All over, in a split second.
28 years. That's a bid,
A
bro.
choice that cost Buster Johnson his life in the free world. And a cycle that Johnson has just repeated.
The white shirt was doing a routine search. We get searched every day, really.
We had an iron stolen. It's a pot iron that the inmates use to iron their clothes. So we're shaking down cells looking for the iron.
He was going to our belongings to see, what was stolen and whatnot. I had all my receipts.
I'm noticing other things, looking for other contraband at the time.
Another thing, bro, if you don't know about prison, if you ain't never been, dog, you get searched absolutely all the time. Not just massive shakedowns, but every day, the officers in the dorms got to do so many cell or bunk searches. And man, some of them can be so petty, bro. If you don't got your receipts for your items, bro, they'll confiscate it, dog. And it just sucks to always have the very bare minimum of what we have as our possessions. It's for it to always be gone through or taken or flipped or moved around. It's a part of the bid and it sucks, dog.
Well, I was in about the third cell, which is Inmate Johnson's cell, and I start looking at his TV, which had numbers scratched out of it. And so I'm asking him about the TV to see if it's a stolen TV or what the deal was. He becomes kind of irate and argumentative, so I ask him to step out of the cell. He wants to keep arguing. I say it again. With a louder voice, I say, step out of the cell. He acts like he's going to comply, and he says, okay then, and looks down and starts to go out of the cell.
So when he did that, I turned around and I fired on him, He dropped to the ground, and, I looked at him. I didn't realize how hard I hit him. I seen blood screaming out his nose, mouth, and I was like, wow, I just turned around, threw a lazy right, and he went to sleep.
He's like, I just threw a lazy right. I didn't mean to knock him out. All right, so look, that's exactly what I was talking about. Obviously, don't condone violence at all. But that officer was being super petty, man. It's a big thing in prison, bro. People sell their possessions all the time. People go home, stuff gets stolen, you know what I mean? So there's like a black market in prison. Rather than buying the TV or radio or whatever at full price, you can buy it for half the price, way cheaper on the pound. But the officers can be petty, and if they see that the DC number is not yours or if it's scratched out, they can confiscate it. So he already knew his TV was about to get taken. He was pissed, and he knocked Buddy out, man.
I never had any problems out of Inmate Johnson before that happened.
So you tried to take his TV,
It's almost like
bro.
I didn't know Inmate Johnson, even though he was there.
Johnson snapped again and now faces the possibility of criminal charges for assaulting an officer, and with them, more time. He's just one of the...
One more interjection on that. Obviously, I do not condone violence whatsoever. And so many people can see this and they can be like, oh man, that's terrible, but people fail to realize when you're doing time and you're continually just feel the pressure of a bid, being told what to do, this and that. And I know that we put ourselves there from the crimes that we commit, but you also got to understand the different angle, bro, another perspective. Bro is probably having a bad day, all this stuff going on, police yelling, telling him to do this or do that, and now this man's just trying to take his TV. He's probably super fed up, and he just snapped. It's not right. It's not cool at all. It is wrong. But rather than looking at it from just one angle, look at it from the other angle as well. You know what I mean?
2,600 convicted felons at Ross. 2,600 men who broke the rules of society. Each inmate heard the guilty verdict, heard the judge issue a sentence that eventually sent them here. While most quietly do their time, for some, breaking the rules is a way of life. And with each violation comes consequences.
It's like that whole segment was
the
just on
visitation
seg,
room at
pretty
the
much.
Ross Correctional Institution. The front line between hard time and freedom. There are more than 20,000 visits a year. One of the few places where inmates can hear the sound of children, laugh, talk, smile.
If you pay attention, they don't got tables in there. A lot of prisons, a lot of states, they won't have tables. The reason why is because they don't want wives and husbands getting freaky under the table or passing drugs, contraband, things like that. So So the officer can see everything. You know, they kind of remove the equation and don't even have no tables at all, and have people sitting up across from each other.
And while most come here for the touch of a loved one's hand, some use this direct contact with the outside world as an opportunity. So on the other side of the wall, every motion is being watched, every gesture scrutinized.
You never know when it's going to happen. You just have to be ready. I've seen heroin, crack, marijuana, pills about any kind, Oxycontins, Xanaxes. I've seen it come out of babies' diapers. I've seen it come out of grandma's bra. They do it, and I fetch it. Try to.
Visitation requires constant vigilance, a watchful eye for rule breakers. And today, that effort has paid off. What seemed like a standard visit between an inmate and his girlfriend is a cover for something else. In the bag, balloons filled with drugs, balloons this inmate is eating.
You could not see one balloon. He sandwiched them between two Doritos and act like he was just eating those Doritos. He was pretty slick, really. It was just a hunch that that's what was going on. I sent an officer over to check the bag, and there was balloons in the bag. Normally, when you see balloons, you got to assume that there's more than what you found.
For her part, the girlfriend is detained and faces potential drug charges. The inmate, Justin Davis, is under an arrest of sorts as well, held in a special wing of the prison. Since Davis swallowed most of the evidence, the prison is now waiting for it to come out. It's called defecation watch.
The inmate is brought over here. He's strip searched. He's put
cut the
in
water
a room
off
by himself. The water is turned off. There is a stainless steel pan put over the commode. An officer is assigned to watch him 24/7.
Defecation watch, the lights, they on 24 hours. I never leave this room. They don't give me no toothbrush. I can't take a shower, none of that, you feel me? Since he found them 3 balloons, he figured that I swallowed some more. So since that, you gotta wait the process of it going through your system so you can get them out.
Once he has to have a bowel movement, the officer will watch him. If he passes something, the supervisor is notified. We come over and we go.
Hey, whenever he gets out of jail and hits the pound again, he gonna be like, dawg, not only I got knocked off, man, they had a camera crew there, bro. I'm on TV, man. That's crazy. Bro got knocked off bringing in the bomb and got put on a documentary behind it.
I also have a fire HBO style series chronologically going over my prison experience from day one, all throughout my 12 years in prison. But you got to become a member to this channel. If you're on desktop, that's the only way you can do it. If you're on a mobile phone, you got to do it through Safari, or you got to go to your internet app and become a member. Check out a brief clip right here. It's not directly addressing me. It's not directly addressing anybody. He's just saying it loudly about all the new people. And we weren't the only new people who came in that day. There's people who came in before us. But I'm thinking still he's going to be the one that tries me. So he goes and he sits down, and I'm sitting on the bench, and all of a sudden someone approaches me. I'm sitting on the outside of the bench and someone stands right
for the drugs.
It's an unpleasant but mandatory waiting game, and the latest chapter in a continuing life of crime.
Whatever was popping, that's what I was selling.
Just imagine the police just digging with them, you know, them little tongs inside the feces, man.
Crack to powder to X pills to weed.
On the street, Justin Davis was a hustler and has a rap sheet that includes convictions for robbery and drug possession. In 2008, while Davis was out on parole, he was found with an automatic weapon, equipped with a silencer. Davis was sentenced to a total of 6 years. This is the second time Davis has been caught with drugs in just 9 months. A sign that the hustler is determined to continue the activities he learned on the street behind bars.
You in prison to where anything could be your hustle, you feel me? Because only thing people want is something that reminds them of the street or something that they can't get in here.
Money in here is a bag of coffee. It goes for around $3.
Let me go ahead. This is probably one of the best prison documentaries I done seen ever, bro. I mean, it's super realistic, dog. I wanted to stop it real quick because if y'all ain't see them spreads, dog, them foot cookies, them cakes, them spreads, man, that's chain gang gold. And you see right here is the coffee, man. He's selling bombs. But the way he got them bagged up, like he's selling zones for the most part, my experience. I mean, people sell it in whatever, but for the most part, you sell them in fingers. You know, in the gloves, you got, 5 fingers so they fill up. Really the 4 fingers are all equal. Well, not some of them are bigger, but they try to equal them out. So they sell coffee, in the fingers. And it's cheaper than people who can't buy a canteen or they can't buy coffee off canteen. They can buy it on the pound, however they hustle.
There's nothing free in the penitentiary. Not one thing. These guys that's making the money pay to get their clothes on for their visits. They pay someone to clean their tennis shoes, to do their laundry, do their dishes.
But small-time hustles have a limited rate of return. The real profits lie in the black market, in contraband and drugs.
I don't take pride in what I do, I just take pride in who I am. Especially when it comes to business, I'm an excellent business person. Supply and demand, you feel me? In prison, that's how it is, you supply and demand. For something that I would have paid $50 for on the street, you feel me? And probably only made like $70 to $100 off of, I can bring it in here and make anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500 off of it. Who wouldn't? You don't think that's worth the risk?
But in the prison black market, the risk goes beyond getting caught. Davis's drugs have been...
He ain't lie there, bro. I know some people, man, throughout my years in prison, bro, they making 6 figures up the road, bro. And like he said, bro, everything's times 10 up the road, man. The boys who are on that, they running up a bag for real. But once again, not condoning it. It's not worth it, but it's reality. And on this channel, you're going to get the full story. Mostly the good parts, but you're going to hear the bad too, bro.
Confiscated.
If he's sold these drugs already, and chances are that he has, if he can't deliver the drugs, then the people that he sold it to is going to either expect their money back or they're going to expect their drugs. And if he can't deliver that, then potentially he has a real problem for his own personal safety out in the yard, because they're going to collect one way or another from him.
Stopping the flow of drugs and contraband is a constant challenge at Ross. A daily effort to disrupt the illegal trade. One that builds as the system takes a hard line. Builds to full-scale shakedowns by the SRT, the Prison Special Force.
All right, man, we can go ahead and stop it right here. There'll be a part 2. But once again, bro, this is definitely hands down the best prison documentary I've seen. They're definitely getting all the raw footage of what really takes place in the chain gang. And once again, man, the whole point of this channel, we don't glorify the chain gang, bro. The whole purpose of this channel, bro, is to highlight the redemption stories of convicts coming home and overcoming the past lifestyle of crime, number 1. But once again, too, man, you do hear the full story on this channel, raw, uncut, and authentic. So I guess the takeaway of this video, bro, stay outside, bro. Stay in society, stay in the streets. That fast money, bro, it don't last. God doesn't honor it. You're not blessed with it. It goes just as fast as it comes. You know what I mean? So, man, y'all stay out the way, do the right thing, know and understand our identity is only found in Christ Jesus for real. And of course, just continue to pray for the men and women incarcerated throughout the nation. But for those of us who already been up the road, bro, this is all the more a reminder and reason why to keep doing the right thing, to be fathers to our children, and to stay out in the streets. It's your boy, E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast. Till next time, peace.
If you didn't know, I am a rapper. My artist name is EI the King. Check out my music on all streaming platforms. Go to my other YouTube channel, EI the King. Check out my music videos. And I'm also releasing a documentary all year. It's really a docu-series. And every Wednesday, I drop a new video. As we've been documenting my transition home from prison and society, from the day of my release, we had a film crew at the gate just documenting my transition home from prison, now in society. Check it out on one of these links above.